together with Earle Sports Bets. Yeah, the twins, they be checking in, stacking up. Green is the scene that you're stepping in. Winning is a trend, and we save, making dollars. Nerd talk with the sports bet scholars. Yeah, R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies.
It's been entirely too long since I've heard that song, since I've given this intro. We are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. And yeah, it is welcome back. That was weird, not doing a show for 3 days. I gotta say, that just my mornings felt weird. It just didn't feel right. And it's good to be back. It is good to be back. And we got baseball. We got a game in the CFL. So definitely plenty to go over for today. But before we get into today's games, before we get into today's slate, let's go over not just what happened yesterday, but what happened the previous few days before that. Because it's been a while, and we still were betting games. If you follow me on Twitter, you got all my plays over the last few days. Yesterday was awesome. I bet Hamilton at minus 150 earlier in the week. And then it dropped down to 118, and I rebet it. So I had them twice, and I had the team total over 22.5. All of that absolutely smashed last night, so up 1.8 units, and the CFL going 3-0. Starting to feel a tide turn here in the CFL. We smashed the last game of week 5. We smashed the first game of week 6, and I really, really like tonight's game. I have, I think, 4 different plays on it. So we'll see what happens there. I'm expecting Toronto to drop the hammer. We'll get into that. On the 12th, I was split out, went 3-3, down 0.18 units, just down the juice. New York, Indiana, over 167.5, never in doubt. Lynx, money line, and the under was terrible. Dream, minus 8.5 was a winner. Sparks, plus the points, was a loser, but the over was a winner, so split out on that one. And then on the 11th, I pushed the National League first 5, got the National League full game, and cashed the Mystics as well. Went 2-0-1, up 1.30 units on the 11th. And the All-Star, or the Home Run Derby, the place we gave out in the morning, for me, went 2-3, down like 0.6 something units or whatever, 6.4 units. And then I was a little bit of, and then that I did what I advocate not to do, and I was chase. After Alonso was eliminated, I went ahead and I grabbed Vladdy Guerrero Jr. to beat Julio Rodriguez at plus 260 and to win the whole thing at plus 340. And all of a sudden, my night was turned around, went 4-3, up 4.16 units. If you follow me on Twitter, you got both those plays there. So overall, really successful All-Star break. Still up. So far in the month of July, it's been awesome. 104, 83, and 9 at 14.44 units. So off to a really strong start in the month of July here. Looking to continue that into the second half of the year. I also made a big bet last night. I finally pulled the trigger on it, Tim. Put 2 units even money for the Astros to win the AL West. That was something I was staring at for like over a week, and I put a big boy bet down on it. And it's pretty simple. The Astros had one of the worst first halves I think they could have had, or they were unlucky, and they were only down 2 games. I think that says a lot. They're going to be getting Alvarez back soon, and combine that with the easiest strength of schedule remaining in their division, and a Rangers team I think is primed for regression, which you'll notice today. I'm starting that a little bit, but yeah, I made that big boy bet as well. 2 units on the Astros to win the division. But that is my All-Star breakdown or recap. What about you, Tim?
I'm not going to go into every single day and what we had and everything. We're still I'll just mention for the month of July, we're still up 6.05 units over the first 13 days. So happy there. A little bit of a rough MLS day on Wednesday. At WNBA, I got to get something going in that because that's negative now, and I'm trying to figure out that one. So it is what it is. But we're still up 6.05 units and ready to try to start up the kind of like the second half of the year and and make some money.
Let's get it.
Second half of the calendar year too, I guess. But
yeah, it is July, so we're a little past that. But yeah, I understand what you're getting at.
Yep. But we'll go ahead and there's no chat, so Nick, let's go ahead and jump into the to the first game. I'll let you talk over this one first. I have Bojangles sitting right here and Chicken calling my name, so I'll end up introducing this one, and I'll dip for just a couple minutes while you break it down. But Argonauts are 6-point favorites against the Alouettes. 48 is your total. You have fun with this one.
Yeah, this is a game I actually really like. This is one game I had circled coming into the week because we had the Toronto Argonauts. They're off of a bye week. So they're coming in. Their last game they played was a really impressive win, 45-24 over what people considered to be the best team in the CFL at that time, the BC Lions, coming in off of the very impressive win against the Blue Bombers the week before that. So it was a nice spot for the Argonauts, but they took care of business in that one, and Vernon Adams turned the ball over 6 times, which was a big thing for them there. And I think potentially they can get some turnovers here with Fajardo in this Montreal offense a little bit. But looking at the spot here, I have probably way too much invested in this game. I got the Argos first half and full game. I got it -3 and -5.5. I think the Argos are potentially the best team in the CFL right now. They are 3-0 to start the year. They're the last remaining undefeated team. Granted, the teams they played in the first 2 weeks are not the greatest, Hamilton and Edmonton, but they beat BC, and I think this team is picking up right where they left off last year. And one thing we've noticed here with the Montreal Alouettes is they started off 2-0. They looked like a pretty decent team. They barely squeaked by against a Nick Arbuckle-led Ottawa Red Blacks, and then they beat Hamilton off of a bye. They went on a bye on week 2, and then they beat Hamilton pretty easily there. And then when they started playing real competition like Winnipeg and BC, they lose 17-3 and 35-19. So the 2 times they played a legitimate opponent, they got blown out by double digits, and I expect the same here. The Toronto Argonauts have scored at least 30 points in every single game this year, and I think that continues into this one. I think the Alouettes' defensive numbers are kind of a little skewed because they actually look like a pretty decent defensive team. The problem is they played Arbuckle and the Red Blacks. They played a Hamilton team that wasn't great and limited them both to 12 points. I think we see what the Lions did to this Alouettes team last week. Argos had plenty of time to prepare for this. I'm on the Argos first half full game. I also grabbed a little bit of team total over 26.5, the full game over 48. I see something along the lines of 35-17 with the Argos getting it done tonight. So that's kind of where I'm looking at for this one. Argos and the over for me.
All right. Good job. Good job. That was some good chicken tenders. So yeah, let's get it. We back, baby. Yes, we are, Markel. Let's do this. All right, Nick, let's jump into some baseball.
Yeah, let's jump into something you can give some feedback on as well. The San Diego Padres are at the Washington. I don't know why I just said Washington. At the Philadelphia Phillies in this one here. Total of 9.5 in this one. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot, and then we will get to it. As we had this line opened up at a -115, it's down to a -109, so a 6-cent line movement towards the Fightin' Phils. The line opened up at a 9. It's up to a 9.5. So the Lions moved up half a run, and then the Lions moved 6 cents towards the Phillies. Maybe saying that Yu Darvish is vulnerable in this game. It's Yu Darvish and Christopher Sanchez. Let's take a look at the money coming in this game, as we have 83% of the tickets, 84% of the cash is on the Phillies. So that kind of makes sense with the line movement there. 62% of the tickets, 63% of the cash is on the under, and yet the Lions moved up. Kind of tells me that they think Yu Darvish gets hit a little bit here. Let's take a look at Ballpark Pal, see where Citizens Bank Park is, plus 16%, plus 31% home runs, plus 8% doubles, triples, minus 2% singles in this spot. And looking at the pitching matchup, Yu Darvish and Christopher Sanchez. Yu Darvish has not been particularly great. 7.31 strikeout or ERA, a 1.75 WHIP, 8.44 strikeouts per nine, which is 20%. 3.38 walks per 90, 388 BABIP, a 5.16 FIP, and a 4.3 Sierra. Christopher Sanchez has been strong. 2.14 ERA, 0.9 WHIP, 7.29 strikeouts per 9, which is 22%, 0.86 walks per 9, a 2.46 BABIP, a 3.8 FIP, and a 3.37 Sierra. Bullpen advantage goes towards the Phillies as well, which has been absolutely elite. 1.47 FIP and a 2.5 Sierra compared to a 6.4 and a 4.5. Padres bullpen's really struggled. I do expect better out of the Padres in the second half, but that bullpen's got to improve itself. WRC plus 105 for the Padres, which is 13th compared to 96 for the Phillies. So the hitting advantage does go towards San Diego in this spot. I kind of think the over could be a decent look, and for whatever reason, this game has Yurfee written all over it with a Kyle Schwarber leadoff home run. I don't know why. That's one of them. It sounds really random, but I think Schwarber probably goes deep here to start the game. But I'm looking a little bit towards maybe the Phillies team total over and the full game over in this spot here a little bit.
Let's start off the card with a play that I mean, I hate backing them, but I'm going Phillies here. Yu Darvish at home, fine. Yu Darvish on the road, I don't want to back Yu Darvish on the road. Christopher Sanchez, as you mentioned, has been solid. He's had 5 starts, and he's allowed 8 earned runs in 5 starts. So he's looked solid throughout his first couple of starts. I think he has another solid one today. I'm not a buyer on this Padres team, Nick. I know you are. I'm not. I'm going to continue to fade them because I think they're going to have a bad second half. Although I don't know if it could be worse than the first half, but I still think this Padres team isn't good. We're going to grab the Phillies today. I can get them at minus 101. Cool.
Yeah, I played the over in this game. I played Phillies team total over 4.5 at minus 119. The full game over, or over 4.5. Yeah, team total. The full game over 9.5 at minus 118. For this spot, I do think we see runs in this game. I like the team total a little bit there, just in case Christopher Sanchez does go out and pitch well, and this bullpen kind of shuts down the Padres. I do think the Phillies can get at least 5. So I'm going to grab that team total over and the full game over here for me in this spot.
Let's get it. Stop Gio's back. He's here. He says, welcome back, bros. Good effing luck today. I know you won't like my plays today, but I still post them anyways. Yankees.
I was looking at them, but there was way too juiced for me personally.
Yeah, I kind of lean the opposite way. Whatever. Marlins.
I like the Yankees against left-handed pitching.
That's fair. Phillies, yes, and Seattle. I run line Seattle. Oh, you got it odd boosted, and you're going Braves run line.
Another team I was looking at, just I couldn't get behind the juice. Maybe if you want to back the Braves, you take their team total over.
That or like Braves money line with like an Acuna hit or something like that to get the juice down. Something in that nature. That's what I would kind of look at. But that's just
15. That's kind of
call me square, but I just like to win money. I'm putting that notion on to the side. The second half of the season, I'm going to cash without public bias. Good luck to you. Let's eat. Miss the family. It was a nice couple of days off. I will say that, but we're ready to get back to business. Welcome back, WNBA Kings. Have not had a good stretch of WNBA lately. That's an all-star break now. Dodgers. What are the No, I don't like the Dodgers today. Brewers. No. Astros. Yes. Good morning. Good morning, RVD. Patrick Bailey over 1.5 bases plus 115. Schwarber over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs minus 120.
I think Schwarber can get that on his first swing.
I like the sound of that.
I think he goes deep. I don't know why, but I think I might want to play a Kyle Schwarber home run prop. I don't know what it is. I just have that weird feeling.
Even though it's not June anymore?
It's not June, no, but he's fine.
All right. I kind of like this next game, Nick.
Yeah, this one's tricky. I had a play written down for this, and the market has taken me off of it. The San Francisco Giants are $1.20 favorites with a total of 9. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot here. This line opened up at a minus 130. It's down to a minus 122, an 8-cent line movement towards the Pirates. And the line opened up at a 9 minus 105, and then now it's a 9 minus 110, a 5-cent line movement towards the over, and an 8-cent line movement towards the Pirates. Let's take a look if the money reflects that here. As we have 85% of the tickets and 62% of the cashes on the over. The lines move a couple cents towards the over. And we have 39% of the tickets and 94% of the cashes on the Giants. And the lines move towards the Pirates, which is kind of tricky. 61% of the tickets and 6% of the cashes on the Pirates. That's kind of interesting there. Looking at Ballpark Pal for this matchup, we have plus 12% runs, plus 7% home runs, plus 16% doubles, triples, plus 2% singles for that. Looking at the pitching matchup here, Ross Stripling and Rich Hill. Ross Stripling, obviously, with the pitching advantage here, 3.12 ERA, 1.04 WHIP, 8.31 strikeouts per 9, which is 24%, 1.04 walks per 9, a 292 BABIP, 328 FIP, and a 5.47 SIERA. On the flip side, Rich Hill, 6.31 ERA, 1.64 WHIP, 8.42 strikeouts per 9, which is 20%, 5.61 walks per 9, a 316 BABIP, a 4.53 FIP, and a 5.23 SIERA. Bullpen advantage goes towards the Giants, 3.42 FIP and a 3.51 SIERA compared to 4.13 and 3.81. And hitting advantage goes towards the Giants, 98 WRC plus, which is 16th, compared to the Pirates, who are dead last against righties at a 67 WRC plus. I wanted to back the Giants in this game. The way the market's moving is keeping me completely off this game, but this is just a stay off for me. I wanted to back the Giants, but not with the way the line's moving.
I want to be on the opposite side. The way I'm looking at it, this Pittsburgh team is awful. Rich Hill is, well, they're not awful. I can't really be that harsh to them. They're not a good team. And the Giants are a solid squad. And I feel like this line should be a little bit wider. Actually, it was. It was like 135 last night, or whatever it was. I kind of lean Pittsburgh. I think they get the job done today. I think one of the teams that I'm going to have as a regression team is the San Francisco Giants. I think they're third place in the division. It may be, no, I think they're third place in the division. I think they stay ahead of the Padres. But anyways, I do like the Pirates in this one. I will back Dick Mountain today and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Raise the Jolly Roger.
Good luck. I'm going to stay off of this game.
Also, Dream did not. Oh, they didn't. That's right. They ended up blowing it. That was rough. Any thoughts on Giants team total over Dick Mountain?
I could see it because the Giants numbers are not terrible against righties or lefties.
But I kind of like Pittsburgh, but we'll see. It's nothing that's going to be on the side or anything, but
no.
I kind of lean Pittsburgh. Let's head to this game, which I know I like. Well,
I've already made a move on this one as well. We have the Baltimore Orioles. They're $1.25 favorites with a total of 8.5 in this game. Let's take a look at this one here. We have Sandy Alcantara and Dean Kramer. This line opened up at a 125. It's up to a 136, an 11-cent line movement towards the O's. This line opened up at an 8 even money. It's down 8.5 minus 118. So the lines move towards the over, and the lines move towards the Orioles in this one here on this spot. Let's see if the money kind of reflects that, as we have 39% of the tickets, 74% of the cash is on the Miami Marlins, and the lines move the opposite way. And then we have 50% of the tickets, 99% of the cash is on the over. That will be enough to keep me off the over in this spot here. In this one. As we have, let's take a look at Ballpark Pal, and then we will get into the pitching matchup here. 13% runs for the Oriole Park today, plus 10% home runs, plus 11% doubles, triples, plus 4% singles. And looking at the pitching matchup here, Dean Kramer and Sandy Alcantara. Sandy, 4.03 ERA, 1.32 whip, 6.39 strikeouts per nine, which is 17%, 1.89 walks per nine, a 3.14 BABIP, a 4.28 FIP, and a 3.98 SIERA. On the flip side, Dean Kramer, 4.5 ERA, 1.18 whip, 10.61 strikeouts per nine, which is 28%. 1.93 walks per nine, a 2.75 BABIP, a 5.39 FIP, but a 3.44 SIERA. Bullpen advantage does go towards Miami here. Miami is a strong bullpen, 3.55 FIP and a 3.17 SIERA compared to the Orioles, 4.21 and 3.32. Hitting advantage goes towards the O's here, 113 WRC plus, which is 10th, compared to 101, which is 16th for the Marlins. I did move on the Orioles early in this game. First 5 at minus 111. I don't want to trust them full game. More like I don't want to fade the Marlins bullpen full game. But I will take a little bit of first 5 action here with the Orioles in this spot.
Yeah, let's run an Orioles. Kramer, one of the most profitable pitchers in baseball. Let me look up to see exactly where he's at on that list. So, oh yeah, number 2. Number 2, only behind Nick. Who's the most profitable pitcher in baseball?
Tommy Henner.
Luke Weaver. The D Kramer also 12-4 to the over, which is the highest percentage to the over, which means he gets run support. I expect him to get run support today. We're gonna have to pull a run line here because full game is up to minus 136. I think this is a good game for the Baltimore Orioles. And I think this is an Orioles team that's going to have a really, really solid second half of the year against a Miami team that's going to be good, but they will regress. I don't think they're going to be the team that's currently, 10 games over 500?
Yeah. Also,
14 games over 500? I don't think that's them.
Also, keep in mind, I do think they sent down Yuri Perez to manage his innings, too.
Yes. Well, that and it was the All-Star break and all that stuff. So
yeah, but I haven't got anything that they called them back up yet.
Well, no, not yet. They will the day of a start.
Fair.
Yeah.
So
that works. I do like Baltimore in this one.
Yeah.
Back to the chat.
Yeah, don't gotta say too much O's.
Yes, sir.
First 5 money line, double up. There you go. Double up.
Let's go.
For Markel. Let's move on here. This line hasn't been out that long, but I saw it was posted. Jose Berrios is now the cutting out of the All-Star break, the number 1 starter for the Blue Jays, or the one they wanted to pitch on Friday here.
I was about to say, you can't really say the 1, 2, 3 starters because Reed Nelson is pitching today instead of Zach Gallen. So it's not really the 1, 2, 3 star. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get into it. We have the Blue Jays opened up at minus 168. This was at 10:48 a.m. And now they're up to a minus 170. Line opened up at a 125 for the over 9. It's now a minus 130 for the over 9. So a 5-cent line movement towards the over and a 2-cent line movement towards the Jays. Let's take a look at probably a very limited market. And that's exactly what it is. I've got basically nothing on it other than a 50-50 ticket split on the money line. That's it. Wonderful. Let's take a look at Ballpark Pal. Maybe we can get a little bit of a look here. Ballpark Pal for Toronto here is on it. Rogers Center minus 4%. So the roof is probably close at Rogers Center today. And let me type in Jose Berrios into my spreadsheet because this wasn't announced until just a little while ago, and I hadn't adjusted it yet. Here we go. Jose Berrios. And I need to type in Toronto here to get the bullpen numbers. There we go. All right. Brian Nelson, 4.78 ERA, 1.31 whip, 7.88 strikeouts per nine, which is 20%. 1.97 walks per nine, a 3.03 BABIP, a 4.31 FIP, and a 4.57 SIERA. On the flip side, Berrios has been good. 3.23 ERA, a 0.91 whip, 9.1 strikeouts per nine, which is 25%, 1.47 walks per nine, a 2.31 BABIP, a 4.16 FIP, and a 3.57 SIERA. The bullpen advantage goes towards the Jays here. 2.69 FIP and a 3.28 SIERA compared to 3.91 and 3.74. And a slight hitting advantage goes towards the Diamondbacks, 99 WRC plus, which is 17th, compared to 97 for the Jays, which is 19th. So pretty close on the hitting there. Pitching advantage, I really like Berrios in this spot, and I would lean towards the Jays in this one. I want a little bit more numbers behind this one. I would look towards the Jays full game. I think that the Jays probably win this game, which I know saying an awful lot there as minus 170 favorites. I need to reload my what do you call it? My minus one calculator here so I can. Oh, my minus one calculator is being stupid. Awesome. So I don't know what that minus one would be, but we'll figure that out a little bit when I get this minus one calculator back up and running. But that's where I would lean in this game, is the Jays minus one.
Yeah, I would probably be on the opposite side if I had to go after anything in this game. Brady Nelson hasn't been horrible, so I'm not gonna blindly just try to fade him. And you get he did get lit up his last time out, but that was against the Mets. Previous to that, he's been pretty solid. He is rocking a 5.19 ERA, but most of that was, I feel like that's a little bit skewed, but it is what it is. The only reason why I'm staying off this game, if you're gonna back Berrios or fade Berrios, you don't fade him at home and you don't back him on the road. So when it comes to it, I'm gonna stay off this game. But it is a lean towards Arizona for me if I have to go after anything in this game. But I'm not going to, so it's a stay away.
Yeah. Very frustrating. My minus one calculator is being stupid.
D-backs. Kind of lean that way, but I'm not going to go after it. I will go after this game.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm betting this game or not. Los Angeles Dodgers and the New York Mets. The Dodgers are minus 115 favorites, total of 8.5 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot between Urias and Verlander. Line opened up at the Mets minus 110, and now it's the Dodgers minus 111. So the Dodgers have gone from dog to favorite, which is kind of interesting there.
Minus 110?
Minus 110 for the Mets, which was even money for the Dodgers.
Oh, and you got minus 105. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was about to say that's a pickle. Anyways.
Yeah. And then the line opened up at an 8.5 minus 105. It's now an 8.5 minus 104. So it's a 1 cent line movement towards the under, and it's a pretty significant move, about 21 cents towards the Dodgers in this game here. Let's take a look at the money coming in on this game, as we have 73% of the tickets and 60% of the cash is on the Dodgers. The lines move towards the Dodgers here. 63% of the tickets, 68% of the cash is on the under. And the lines move towards the under. Let's take a look at ballpark value. See what Citi Field looks like today. And it's, plus 6% runs. Plus 24% home runs, minus 4% double triples, minus 4% singles. Let's take a look at the pitching matchup here. Verlander and Urias. Urias has, I think, only pitched 3 times in the last month, twice. 7 ERA, 1.33 whip, 10 strikeouts per 9, which is 26%. 3 walks per 9, a 360 BABIP, but 239 FIP, and a 3.91 SIERA. On the flip side, Verlander is starting to get into form. 2.03 ERA, 1.03 whip, 6.97 strikeouts per 9, which is 19%. 1.74 walks per 9, a 272 BABIP, a 283 FIP, and a 4.3 SIERA. Bullpen advantage goes towards the Dodgers here, 2.76 FIP, 3.65 SIERA compared to 4.42 and 4.27 for the Mets. Their bullpen has improved a little bit. Still not overly confident in it. 115 WRC plus for the Dodgers against righties, 95 for the Mets against lefties. Hitting advantage goes towards the Dodgers here. I kind of lean Dodgers in this game. That would be my lean in this spot. The market's telling me a little bit Dodgers. The Dodgers have the hitting advantage. And that the pitching's kind of a toss-up for me at this moment. Urias on the road does probably would keep me off the Dodgers in general, though. It's a lean towards LA, but it's a no play for me.
Yeah, no, it's a Mets play. You look at his home road splits. I know, and actually quite drastic. And he's got a decent amount of innings per side, although a little bit limited. 1-4, 8.44 ERA on the road, compared to a 5-1, 2.15 at home. So yeah, if we're gonna play against Urias, it might as well be at home on the road where he is awful. I think the Mets are one of those teams that are going to have a better second half. I don't think they can look much worse. And I think the Dodgers, everybody's talking about the different teams that missed the playoffs. Why not take a shot with the Dodgers to miss the playoffs?
I don't see it. Honestly, I don't.
I know a lot of people don't. I think the Dodgers might miss the playoffs altogether. Although they are currently, 2.5 games up at the moment.
They're 2.5 games up in the wild card.
Oh, sorry.
No. They're first place in the West. They're tied for first place in the West.
They're tied for the West. I'm not sold on it. I think their pitching is going to catch up to them eventually, with everybody kind of getting all beat up. So I kind of lean the Mets in this one. Actually, I did that as a free pick video last night, so I like the Mets. I'm back in JV. I think JV has a better second half of the year. So sign me up for some Mets money line action.
I do think the Mets are better in the second half. This is one hell of a way to start your second half is with the Dodgers.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. Good morning. Good night, Munchie. Mets first 5. Everyone talking shit about Verlander. I think he's going to have a really,
I
really
think
good
that would be the
half.
way to play the Mets. Is the first 5, not the full game. I don't trust that bullpen still.
Okay.
We'll move on to this matchup, which I'm kind of interested in. Whether or not I'm betting, it's another story. But I'm waiting on the demise of the Cincinnati Reds here, and let's take a look at it. The Brewers opened up at a -115. They're down to a 109, so it's actually moved 6 cents towards the Reds. And the line opened up at a 10.5 -120. It's now down to a 10 at -105 for the over. So the line's moved down a half a run, and the line's moved 6 cents towards the Reds, which suggests maybe Graham Ashcraft pitches well in this game. Let's take a look at the money and see if that kind of correlates with it. 60% of the tickets, 87% of the cash is on the Brewers, and the line's moved slightly towards the Reds. 82% of the tickets, 83% of the cash is on the under in this game. The line's dropped here as well. Let's take a look at the ballpark, pal, to see the weather conditions. Usually Cincinnati is nice. Yeah, it is. Second best on the slate. 26% home runs, 9% doubles, triples, 4% singles, 18% runs overall. So nice hitting weather in Cincinnati for today. Let's take a look at the pitchers here. Corbin Burns, 5.48 ERA, 1.28 whip, 8.19 strikeouts per 9, which is 22%, 3.34 walks per 9, a 280 BABIP, a 4.43 FIP, and a 4.48 SIERA. On the flip side, Graham Ashcraft, 4.32 ERA, 1.50 whip, 5.94 strikeouts per 9, which is 15%. 2.7 walks per 9, a 296 BABIP, a 634 FIP, and a 4.87 SIERA. Bullpen advantage 100% goes towards the Brewers here in this spot. 2.82 FIP, 3.19 SIERA compared to 5.24 and 5.06. The Reds do have the hitting advantage here. 119 WRC plus, which is 14th compared to the Brewers 88, which is 25th. And these two teams just saw each other. Corbin Burns, I believe, just pitched against these Reds, if I'm not mistaken. And so did Graham Ashcraft. Corbin Burns in his last start went 6 innings, gave up 2 earned runs on 3 hits, 4 walks. And Ashcraft on the other side pitched, I believe he pitched well. No, he faced Washington. Never mind. He faced Washington, not Milwaukee last series. And the way the line's moving, all that, it kind of leads me towards Cincy early in this game. I don't trust that Cincy bullpen. Graham Ashcraft has looked a little bit better as of late. I'll look towards them early here. I don't like them full game because I think that Brewers bullpen will be fine full game to potentially have a comeback and win. I think this is a spot where you take the Cincinnati Reds early, first 5, and then after the 5th inning, or maybe 6th or 7th or whatever, you look to grab a live bet with the Brewers because the bullpen, I think, is a massive question mark for the Reds still. I think it's one of the worst in baseball, and I think that's going to be they're bound for regression here. But I will take Cincy early. And I've been somebody that's been fading Cincy an awful lot. I think this is a good spot to back him here early and maybe look for Milwaukee to come back late.
Yeah, no, if anybody's coming back, it's this Reds team. This is a scrappy team. I like Ashcraft. I think he's going. I think he had he had a solid end to the first half of the year, back-to-back one-run games. So I think he's going to have a really good second half after having a really bad first half. 6.28 ERA in the first half. I think he's due for some positive regression, as Nick would like to say. And I'm still not a big fan of Corbin Burns. Now, it kind of looked towards an under in this game. I will say that. I think this could be a good pitching matchup. But I'm going to ride with the Reds with you. And back Graham Ashcraft. You just saw these two teams face each other. You saw Milwaukee take 2 out of 3. I think that the Cincinnati Reds win this series. And at the end of the day, I'm expecting the Brewers to fall off. So I'm going to go and take Cincinnati in this one for me.
And I think if you're looking for a team to win this division, I think it's the Cubbies. I was looking at this a little bit last night. The Cubbies are the only team in that division with a positive run differential this season.
Yeah.
And you can get them at plus 750 right now to win the division. They have a positive run differential, and they've got one of the easiest remaining schedules. They got the easiest remaining schedule in the National League. So that's kind of where I would look for that division.
I have the Cubbies plus $4 from the beginning of the year.
Plus 750 is kind of appealing for the Cubs. I mean, I do think they could turn that around, but we'll get into the Cubs later, I believe.
Yep, but Reds money line.
Yep.
Let's run it. Back to the chat.
Yeah. Fernando saying, "Let's go Mets." There you go. Every capper in their mudda on the Brewers. Brew Crew. I grabbed the. I think the Brewers can win full game. Over and pass. I lean under, and you can get a 5.5 for the first 5 innings. I lean under. Reds. Yeah. If the Cubs don't turn around quickly, they might become sellers at the deadline. Yes. That's the tricky part.
I don't think the Reds. Not Reds. I don't think the Cubs are sellers just because they just built the team and they have contracts that are team friendly right now.
Yeah, the Cubs are 7 games behind the Reds, but I'm fully expecting that Reds like 4-11 run soon, where they lose 11 out of 15 games.
I don't know.
We'll move on here. Chicago White Sox and the Atlanta Braves. The Braves are 250 favorites with a total of 9.5 in this game. I've already made a move on this one in this spot. Let's get into it. The Atlanta Braves and the Chicago White Sox, Charlie Morton and Michael Kopech. Line opened up at a minus 230 for the Braves. It's up to a 250. Massive line move there. And the line opened up at a 9.5 even money on BetOnline, and the line's not moved on BetOnline, but it moved from a 9 to a 9.5 on DraftKings. Let's take a look at if the money reflects a little bit of a move to the over and a big move towards the Braves. And we have 56% of the tickets, 28% of the cash, or 44% of the tickets, 72% of the cash is on the Chicago White Sox money line. Nobody wants to lay minus 250 though. 86% of the tickets, 95% of the cash is on the run line for the Braves. And we have 23% of the tickets, 96% of the cash is on the over. Big bets on the over here in this spot. And I agree with that over money. Let's take a look at Ballpark Palace, see if we have some decent hitting conditions here for Atlanta. In Truist Park, plus 3% runs, plus 3% home runs, minus 4% doubles, triples, minus 4% singles. And looking at the pitching matchup here, Charlie Morton and Michael Kopech. Kopech's not been very good. 3.12 ERA, 2.08 whip. 2.08 whip. Wow. 9.35 strikeouts per 9, which is 21%. 8.83 walks per 9. A 362 BABIP, a 599 FIP, and a 6.29 Sierra. I don't believe he's pitched that much in the last month, though. On the other side, Morton's been Morton. He does his old man shit. He goes out there and throws good games. 2.28 ERA, 1.30 WHIP, 11.06 strikeouts per 9, which is 29%. 3.9 walks per 9, a 3.24 BABIP, a 3.28 FIP, and a 3.84 SIERA. Bullpen advantage goes towards the Braves. 2.44 FIP, 3.78 SIERA, compared to 4.9 and 3.75 for the White Sox. Hitting advantage goes towards the Braves. 144 WRC plus versus righties, and on the other side we have the White Sox, who have a 94 WRC plus, which is 22nd. I've already moved on the over 9.5 in this game. In this spot, and I'm kind of interested in the Braves team total. I was looking at the Braves run line, but not at -130, -135. That is just not something I'm looking to lay. But I'm going to probably look towards maybe a team total over. I think the Braves put up some runs in this game. I hate 5.5s, but I'm going to grab the over 5.5 here, team total with the Braves. I think they put up some runs in this spot. Now that they're back at home and they can have their screamer fan when breaking balls are about to come. You've seen that video. I think it's funny. I don't believe in that crap. But I thought that was funny.
I would explain a lot, but no, okay. No,
I'm gonna grab the Braves team total over 5.5, full game over 9.5 in the spot.
Yeah, I'll grab the over with you. I was going to grab the Braves run line, but -130. Oh, my God. At home, nonetheless. It's a good team, but -130 on a run line, good? I don't see it. Well, no, I see it. I understand why. They're 60-29 this year, 31 games above 500. Best team in baseball by a absolute long shot at this point. But I can't lay -130. I think that they hit against Kopech, who has not been good this year. I think Kopech he's got a 4.08, so he's not been horrible. I think he gets traded at the deadline. And I think he goes to one of those middling teams that are like bubble teams to try to get in. I could see Kopech going to teams like Baltimore. I could see him going to Seattle, to Texas, to maybe of Philadelphia, or even the Mets. So I think Kopech gets dealt. But I think he gets hit here. I think Morton gets hit a little bit too. I'm gonna take the over in the Braves game as well.
I like it. Let's see. Moneyline parlay, Jays and Reds. It's not a terrible look. I kind of do lean Jays. Morton K props if he has this curve going. Yeah. Double up -2 and Braves team total over, whatever it is. Fair. Tell me why I don't play MLB. The show 23 earlier. Graphics are dope. And there you go. Stroming is is the selling piece for the Cubs.
If they drop, if they have a rough beginning, they have a rough 2 weeks. Yeah, he could be.
Yeah,
but didn't he sign like a decent sized deal?
Oh, I think it was only 2 or 3 years.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, tell Scooby-Doo to be quiet. Bolt, be quiet. No barking. All right, no barking. All right. Braves run line and the over. Yep. Let's get into the next matchup here. The Guardians and the Rangers. Rangers $1.30 favorites, total 8.5 in this game. As I alluded to earlier, I see a little bit of regression for this Rangers team. Let's get into it. We have the Rangers opened up at 145. They're down to a 132, a 13-cent line movement towards the Guardians in this one here. Line opened up at an 8.5, went down to an 8, and back up to an 8.5, where it's moved 15 cents towards the over since the opening line. Let's take a look at the money, see if it reflects a move towards the Guardians, and then we'll move towards the over. 61% of the tickets, 96% of the cash is on the Guardians in this spot. Those lines plummeted on the Guardians, though, so that makes sense. And we have 80% of the tickets, 57% of the cash is on the under. And the lines moved up, but it originally moved down. It's a tricky total. I really want nothing to do with the total. Looking at Ballpark Pal here for this game, we have Globe Life Field as the worst hitting conditions on the slate today, minus 7% runs, which tells me that the roof is closed, which probably when it's 187 degrees outside in Texas, the roof's going to be closed. I thought that was. I'm no weatherman though, so all I know is probably weather in Texas in the middle of July is hot as hell. All right, there's my weatherman analysis of Texas there. Aaron Savali and John Gray. Aaron Savali's not been bad. 2.76 ERA, 1.06 WHIP, 8.9 strikeouts per nine, which is 24%, 3.07 walks per nine, a 237 BABIP, a 386 FIP, and a 4.21 SIERA. I see some regression coming for Mr. John Gray here, and I think we've already started to see it. 6.98 ERA, 1.81 WHIP, 5.59 strikeouts per nine, which is 13%, 2.66 walks per nine, a 348 BABIP, a 509 FIP, and a 5.65 SIERA. Bullpen advantage goes towards the Guardians here. 4.1 FIP, 3.48 SIERA compared to 4.37 and 3.72. Hitting advantage does go towards the Rangers here. 120 WRC plus, which is third in baseball, compared to 105 for the Guardians. 15th. Guardians are above average when it comes to hitting here. And I took the Guardians. I doubled down on them here. I got them first 5 in full game, both at plus 115. I think we start to see in the second half the Rangers regress. The Astros take over that division. And the problem, I think, with the Rangers is going to be their starting pitching. Because when they were playing really well earlier in the year, they had Eovaldi pitching well. They had John Gray pitching well. And they have Dane Dunning pitching well. I think at least 2 of those guys, and John Gray is probably my number 1 pitcher to do this, is going to fall off in the second half. And when you don't have your top 3 pitchers pitching well, you're going to struggle. And I see we saw how great the Rangers were in the first half of the season. They're only up 2 games on the Astros, and the Astros were beat up and probably had one of their worst first halves that we've seen them have since this little dynasty they've had. So I'm going to look to fade the Rangers going forward here. I think that they're going to be a great bet against team in the second half of the year. I am on the double up on the Guardians first 5 in full game.
I give you props for that. I want to fade the Rangers. The Guardians is not the team I want to do it with. I'm going to end up having nothing to do with this game. I'm sorry, Nick. But I can't back Savali, and I don't want to back Cleveland. I don't think Cleveland's going to be good. I'll look at their games 1 every 5 days, and that's when Gavin's pitching. Other than that, I want nothing to do with the Cleveland Guardians. They're a team that if I bet on them, they score nothing or 1 run. If I bet against them, they go crazy. This is a Guardians team I just cannot get right. So I'm going to stay away from the Nick. I know I'm taking the boring way out, but this one's going to be a pass for me. If you like this game enough, you can go ahead and put it up on the site. I have no problem with you doing that, but I'm going to stay off this game.
All right, I'm going to put it up because I like the Guardians here. So I'm going to put up the Guardians in the spot.
Sounds good. Where did you leave off?
Sorry, my computer froze because I accidentally clicked on Photoshop instead of.
Nice.
There we go.
On the Braves run line, but I'm stubborn, knowing they're barely over 500 on the road on the run line at home, / interleague play. I just can't do it because it's minus 130. The Indians, have fun with them. Guardians, good luck. Reds first 5 full game. Yup. And Tim knows what's up. I'm staying away from that game. We'll go to this one, Nick, which is, I think it could be an interesting game.
Yeah, 1 second. There we go. All right. Cleveland's up on the site, plus 124. I made a move on this one last night. I did a free pick video on this one last night. Let's get into it. Boston Red Sox at the Chicago Cubs. Red Sox $1.25 favorites with a total of 9 in this game. Let's take a look at the line movement in this one, and I believe it moved because I remember looking. Yeah, it has moved a little bit. This line opened up at minus 110 for Boston. I got in last night at minus 126. It's now to a 132. A 22-cent line movement towards the Boston Red Sox. Line opened up at a 9 at minus 110. It's now a 9 minus 126. A 16-cent line movement towards the over in this game as well. We have Brian Bayo and Kyle Hendricks here pitching matchup for this one here. Let's take a look at the line at the money, see if it reflects a line movement towards the Red Sox. 78% of the tickets, 90% of the cash is on the Red Sox. All right. And then we have 26% of the tickets, 79% of the cash is on the over. Big bets coming in on the over in this game. Kind of intriguing, maybe for an over bet. Let's take a look at what Wrigley Field looks like today. I'm assuming with a 9, pretty good. 9% runs, 25% home runs, 1% singles, minus 4%, or 1% doubles, triples, minus 4% singles. So decent hitting conditions here in Chicago. Brian Bayo has been really strong. 1.82 ERA, 0.87 whip, 6.23 strikeouts per 9, which is 18%. 1.82 walks per 9, a 220 BABIP, a 296 FIP, and a 4.25 SIERA. On the flip side, Kyle Hendricks, 2.61 ERA, 0.87 WHIP, 4.74 strikeouts per 9, which is 14%. 1.18 walks per 9, a 212 BABIP, a 373 FIP, and a 4.75 SIERA. Bullpen advantage goes towards the Red Sox here, 4.46 FIP, 4.14 SIERA, compared to 4.28 and 4.5. And the hitting advantage goes towards the Red Sox in this game. 108 WRC plus, which is 12th, compared to 99, which is 18th. I think the Red Sox get to Hendricks in this game. And I like Bayo. The movement towards the over is kind of interesting because I don't really want to back an over with Bayo on the mound because he's shown he's pretty good. If I'm looking to bet an over, it's probably just the Red Sox team total over, but I'm on the Red Sox here. I got them at minus 126 last night. I did a free pick video on them here. It's the Red Sox for me.
I went the opposite direction. Kyle Hendricks has actually been, although he's given up runs, the Cubbies have won 5 out of his last 6 starts, which is something I kind of like to look for is is the team winning games that you're pitching? Because if they are, that means you're getting run support. Or you're pitching really well. Now the Boston Red Sox are on a little bit of a nice run. Bayo has also Red Sox have won 4 out of his last 5 starts, so he's been doing well there. I kind of lean towards the Cubs though, a little bit of a home doggy. I kind of like that over though, because I think Hendricks gets hit a little bit, and I think Bello gets hit a little bit. I could easily see this one being one of those. I don't know, 9 to 7 games, 8 to 7 games, 7 to 6, something in that nature, where these two pitchers go about 5 innings each, and then the bullpen comes in, and it's a fun bullpen game for a while. I kind of like that over, but that's where I'm gonna go. I'm taking the over. I'm not gonna grab a side, although I lean Cubbies.
Yeah. I'll kind of support that over here. I like Bayo too much to play the full game over. I'm grabbing the Red Sox over 4.5 runs at $1.35. I do think this is a Red Sox team that maybe steals a wild card spot this year.
I don't think they're that good.
No, they're probably an 85 win baseball team, to be completely legit. But I like Boston here. I think that Boston is a team that I'm looking to back going forward a little bit. And I'm going to grab their team total over as well.
Sounds good. I'm going to go ahead and put the over up on the site.
All right. Reds first 5 full game. I'm on the first 5. Tim knows what's up. Damn, I thought I was on the Cubbies. Cubs for sure. Give me that boy Hendricks. Well, everybody on the Cubbies. I'll be on the Lone Island backing Brian Bayo here. We almost had a minus 300 fade right off the rip, Tim. Right off the rip out of the All-Star break, but we don't get that here. The Rays minus 275 favorites. Total of 9 in this game. Let's get into it here. In a matchup between, let me find it here, Glasnow and Marsh. Line opened up at a 270 for the Rays. It's down to a 260, so a 10-cent line movement towards the Royals here. The line opened up at a 9 minus 110. It's down 9 minus 115, a 5-cent line movement towards the over in this spot here. Let's take a look if the money coming in reflects a move towards the Royals and a move towards the over. 46% of the tickets, 74% of the cash is on the over. The lines move that way. Big money coming on the over, kind of lean that way. 68% of the tickets and 68% of the cash is on the Royals in this game on the money line. 45% of the tickets and 67% of the cash is on the Royals run line as well. So big money coming in, or interesting bets coming in on the Royals here, which is why the lines moved down. That makes sense. I'm as much as I would say, let's take the huge dog. I'm going to probably stay off this game. In this one, maybe I'll look towards the over. Let's take a look here. Kauffman Stadium plus 5% runs. Give me 2 seconds. How dare people try to run their leaf blowers outside?
I'll quickly go on this one. I have really no interest in this game. They kind of price you out of the Tampa Bay Rays, and I'm not touching the Royals. This is a bad Royals team and a Rays team that I think the Rays regress, because I do have Baltimore winning the division. I know. I'm not touching the Royals, and B, the Rays run line is minus 165. Yeah, zero interest in this game. I think they price you out of it. And the thing is, with this one, with the total, you could, it's a big line, go after the total. I don't want to, because this game could easily be 2-0 Rays, or it could be 10-3 Rays. And I don't know what's going to happen. I can't really read this game. I'm staying away from it.
Yeah, sorry about that. The people running the lawnmower there, and of course, Bolt has to bark at him because
he's protecting you.
Yeah. This is a stay off for me as well. I was looking maybe towards the over, but with the way the Royals are hitting righties, which is 73 WRC plus, which is 29th in baseball, it's a stay off for me.
Sounds good. The Red Sox offense.
Yeah, they're good. They're good.
What's up, Knucklehead? What's up, Lenny? Guys, make sure you guys stay tuned. 1 o'clock for Bet Win Repeat, or AKA Game Time Decision today.
Yeah.
Now hit the like button, like an adult. Everybody else should go hit the like button, like an adult, like what Detroit Lenny did, even though he's a kid. But anyways, staying off. See what they do today. Good luck. Royals. I'm not touching that. He wants a Scooby snack, Nick.
Yeah. Or maybe he's saying the Royals are live.
Jays money line and Nats plus 1.5. We'll go over the Nats game in a minute. Or I think that's the next game.
That's the next game here. I have made moves on this one as well.
Ooh,
let's take a look here. The Cardinals minus 180 favorites, total of 9 in this spot here. We have Michaelis and Williams. This line's moved a little bit since I bet it this morning. Line opened up at a 180. It's now 179 for the Cardinals. And then line opened up at a 9 even money. It's up to a 9 minus 124, a 24-cent line movement towards the over, and now a 1-cent line movement towards the Nationals. Let's take a look if the line movement reflects that here. As crap. 83% of the tickets, 99% of the cash is on the over. That's not what it was when I bet it this morning. Wonderful. 81% of the tickets, 86% of the cash is on the Cardinals in this spot, and the line's moved a penny towards the Nationals. I really don't like my positioning in this game anymore. Wonderful. Let's take a look at Ballpark Pal. Let's see what we got for this one. As we have Busch Stadium minus 2%, runs minus 11%, doubles, triples, plus 1%, singles, plus 5% home runs. And the pitching matchup here between Michaelis and Williams. Williams, 5.04 ERA, 1.65 whip, 6.53 strikeouts per nine, which is 16%. 2.97 walks per nine, a 340 BABIP, a 5.39 FIP, and a 4.92 SIERA. On the flip side, Michaelis has not been very good either. 5.21 ERA, 1.24 whip, 4.26 strikeouts per nine, which is 11%. 2.13 walks per nine, a 281 BABIP, a 389 FIP, or 281 BABIP, a 389 FIP, and a 5.56 SIERA. Both bullpens are trash. 5.65 FIP, 4.84 SIERA for the Nationals. Slight edge towards, I guess, the Cardinals. 5.36 and 4.93, still really bad. Hitting advantage goes towards the Cardinals here. 115 WRC plus, which is 8th against righties, compared to 96, which is 20th for the Nationals. I've moved on the over already in this game. I got the over 9 earlier. I got it, I believe, at minus 120. And I did grab the Cardinals team total over 5.5 at plus 113. I expect them to get a couple runs against Trevor Williams, and this bullpen for the Nationals is so bad that I think they get a couple more against them. I think this is like a 7-5 type of game here. I lean Cardinals on the side. I don't like the way the lines move because this was minus 185, so it moved towards the Cardinals when I took the team total over. The lines come back a little bit, but I'm on the Cardinals team total over 5.5 and the full game over 9.
You said it's Trevor Williams pitching tonight?
Yep.
All right. Yeah, I got TBD on both covers and MLB, so I didn't really get to look at this game too much. But it's Miles McCollum, so I kind of like the over. And I know McCollum is coming off of 7 shutout innings, but I'm still not sold on him. As crazy as that sounds. And I kind of like Trevor Williams. I kind of like Washington. Is that crazy? I kind of like Washington in this game.
A little bit.
But I haven't really been able to do enough on this one because I did not know it was Trevor Williams until you just said it. Because all my pages are showing TBD still. So I'm going to stay off of this game for right now. Kind of lean towards an over, but we'll see when it comes to it.
Fair. We'll move on to the next game.
Keep rolling.
Yeah, this was one I was looking at a little bit, just was priced out of it. The New York Yankees are at the Colorado Rockies. Total of 11 in this game. Let's take a look. Line history, Rendon and Gomber. The line opened up in an 11 minus 115. It's now an 11 minus 110. It did touch 11.5 at one point. It's come back down. Line opened up at a 185. For the Yankees, it's a 197 now. And so it's moved 12 cents in the direction of the New York Yankees. I wanted to back the Yankees in this spot. Let's take a look at Ballpark Pal. Plus 28% runs, plus 21% home runs, plus 29% doubles, triples, plus 7% singles.
It's Coors Field.
It's Coors Field. Coors Field is always awesome.
Yes.
Lines move 5 cents towards the under, but the Coors Field is usually awesome. Carlos Rendon's only pitched 2 starts, so I'm not going to go too crazy on his numbers here.
One start.
One start. No, he pitched twice, I thought.
Nope. 5 innings.
He only pitched against the Cubs.
5 1/3 against the Cubs. Nope, that has been all.
Yep. And then on the flip side, Austin Gomer, 3.99 ERA, 1.02 whip, 6.75 strikeouts per 9, which is 19%. 0.92 walks per 9, a 264 BABIP, a 406 FIP, and a 409 SIERA. Open advantage goes towards the Yankees, 4.4 FIP and a 4.93 SIERA compared to 5.16 and 4.53. Hitting advantage goes towards the Yankees here, 144 WRC plus versus lefties the last 30 days. They're smashing lefties compared to 80, which is 25th against lefties for the Rockies. I want to back the Yankees in this game. I want to find a way to back the Yankees here in this spot, because I think they come out and they destroy Gomber. Unfortunately, I would have to ask the New York Yankees to put up a touchdown in Colorado, and I don't particularly want to do that. And I don't particularly want to lay a run line. I'm more lenient on a run line here with the Yankees at minus 135 compared to, let's just say, the earlier game with the Braves, because the Braves were at home and the Braves total wasn't 11. So the variants, I think, are going to be high. There's a really good chance the Yankees win this game by multiple runs. And I think I just swallow the juice here and only the $1.35 on the run line here in the spot with the Yankees. I think they come out here and they destroy Austin Gomber. I think Rendon has a nice start. So I'm gonna eat the juice here. I'm going to take the Yankee run line at minus 135.
I actually lean Colorado. And I don't trust Carlos Rendon in the second start of the year as a minus 200 favorite on the road. All that just doesn't add up to me. I know it's against Colorado and it's against Austin Gomber, who has not been good. Wasn't he the one that was part of the Nolan Arenado trade?
Yes.
I don't trust Rendon right now. And I don't trust the Yankee offense. I know they're hitting lefties. I don't trust them right now. I think this Yankees team is going to regress. I think this team is I think their offense is going to continue to suffer until Judge gets back. And we've seen this. They have looked awful since Judge has come back. I know they've had a couple of games that they score big runs and they look good. No, this is not the Yankee team you're going to see for the rest of the year. I think there's a realistic shot that we could see the Yankees as a last place team this year. And by the way, Yankees to miss playoffs plus 120.
That's an interesting line. You could have gotten way better preseason for the Yankees to miss the playoffs. Absolutely.
Yeah, you could have. But I think there's still value in getting plus money for it.
I personally think we've yet to see the Yankees' best baseball. And I know that's crazy.
And I don't think we're going to see it.
Judge in the lineup. But if we think about it, everybody wants Aaron Boone fired. Like that's all I've heard is Aaron Boone's one of the worst managers. I think this year, with what he's been given, he's done one of the best managing jobs in baseball so far. And I know that sounds crazy, but you're still competitive in arguably the best division in baseball. And you've had one of your best projected starters out the entire year so far, and he just returned. He's had one start, Rendon. You've had Aaron Judge out. You've had to work with players like Isaiah Kiner-Falefa and Josh Donaldson in your lineup, and you're still competitive. So I do think the Yankees are a team that I think we can back. And for me, they've become kind of predictable. You back them against lefties, you fade them against righties. And they're facing a lefty today. I think they get to them. So it's $1.35, but I think the Yankees have yet to play their best baseball. And I think we might see that in the second half.
Yeah, I don't think so at all. It's gonna be close. Fernando. Okay. Hi guys. Ryan and I say hey. Hey guy. Hey Dad. Hi Ryan. How you guys doing? Have a great show. You too as well. Mo Harris been working. I thought we took time off. They will suffer until they get Ohtani. Lenny, shut it. I really do not want to see him in pinstripes. I might pick all the dogs just like I did on the season opener. Did a 4-leg parlay. It hit. I'm not saying it won't hit again, but there's a chance. Every team is well rested. Yeah, I think every team is well rested. We got 2 games left to talk about, Nick.
Yeah, the LA Angels and the Houston Astros. This is one I did a free pick video on last night as well. This is the other one. The Angels minus 145 favorites, total of 8 in this spot. Let's get into it. We have Ohtani and JP France. Line opened up at a 140. It's a 147. This did hit 160 at one point, so we did have some buyback here on the Houston Astros. Line opened up at a minus 110 for the over 8. It's now a minus 127. I got in at last night at minus 113. I'm on the over in this game. There you go. But let's take a look at the money to see if it reflects the line move towards the over in this spot here. And to no surprise, Ohtani is playing. So it's 85% of the tickets, 82% of the cash on the under. And actually, kind of surprising, 85% of the tickets and 89% of the cash is on the Astros in this game, not the Angels. Which kind of tells me that the Angels actually may be live today with Ohtani on the mound. Which sounds crazy, but I mean, usually it's the other way around where all the money and all the tickets are on Ohtani. And that's not the case here. Let's take a look at Ballpark Pal. See what type of hitting conditions we have at Angel Stadium today. Minus 4% runs, but plus 4% home runs. Minus 12% doubles, triples. Minus 2% singles for this game here. Looking at the pitching matchup, JP France has not been particularly great. 3.06 ERA, 1.27 whip, 5.29 strikeouts per 9, which is 14%, 3.34 walks per 9, a 265 BABIP, a 4.42 FIP, and a 5.31 SIERA. On the other side, Shohei Ohtani, 3.33 ERA, 1.27 whip, 11.1 strikeouts per 9, which is 38%, 3.33 walks per 9, a 322 BABIP, a 3.53 FIP, and a 3.64 SIERA. No surprise, pitching advantage goes towards Shohei Ohtani and the Angels. bullpen advantage goes towards the Astros, 4.01 ERA, or 4.01 FIP, 3.22 SIERA compared to 5.69 and 5.15. Hitting advantage goes towards the Angels in this spot, 126 WRC plus, which is second in baseball against righties, compared to 110, which is 11th. Both these teams are hitting. I'm on the over in this game. And the more and more I look at it, I kind of think the Angels are probably a decent look in this game, but I want to fade Ohtani. I don't want to backing Ohtani when he's pitching. But for me, my way of fading Ohtani here in this game is just taking the over. I got the over last night at minus 113.
Yeah, I like the Astros. And it's just I want to fade Ohtani. More importantly, I want to fade this Angels team in general, who have lost 9 out of their last 10 games. And the only game they won was a 5-2 win with Reed Detmers over Zach Gallen. Yeah, that's a little bit weird to say. This is not an Angels team I want to back. And the fact that we're getting a team that's been losing like this, we get to fade them at plus money against a team that we think is going to make a move in the division, Nick.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah, I kind of like the Houston Astros in this one at plus money. Sign me up for Houston today.
Yeah, I won't talk you off of Houston. I personally won't be betting Houston, but I do like the over.
Astros money line, yes. Over. I don't really have a feel on the total. First 5 money line, Angels. No, I don't like that. No.
If
Final
you're gonna,
game of the day.
One thing I will say with that, if you're going to back the Angels, only first 5. Only first 5 for the Angels, because I can see Ohtani going out there throwing 6 decent innings, and then the Angels bullpen blows it late. All right, last game of the night.
Last game, and Detroit Lenny might want to log off at this point. Go ahead, Nick.
Oh, okay. Mariners minus 175 with a total of 7 in this game. Let's take a look at it. We have Rodriguez and Castillo. Line opened up at a 180. It's down to a 169 on an 11-cent line movement towards the Tigers in this one here. Line opened up at a 7 at minus 110. It's now a 7 or a 7 at minus 115. It's now a 7 at minus 110. Let's take a look at the money in this game. Let's see if it reflects a line move towards the Tigers in this game, as we have 65% of the tickets, 94% of the cash is on the Tigers in this game. 76% of the tickets, 75% of the cash is on the under. Let's take a look at Ballpark Palace, see if this is let's see what type of hitting conditions we have. T-Mobile Park minus 6% runs, minus 4% home runs, minus 6% doubles, triples, minus 3% singles. So not good hitters-friendly weather here tonight. Castillo has been back 1 start, so I don't really have too much for him, and it was against the Athletics. On the other side, I'm not really confident in Luis Castillo, and I think he's an overpriced pitcher. 3.23 ERA, 1.17 whip, fine. 7.34 strikeouts per 9, which is 20%. 3.23 walks per 9, a 212 BABIP, but a 5.69 FIP and a 4.78 SIERA, which suggests to me that with the low BABIP and the high FIP and the high SIERA is players are making hard contact against him, but they're going right to fielders. And I think that's a recipe for me when I see a low BABIP but a high FIP and a high SIERA for regression for a pitcher. And I see regression here negatively for Luis Castillo. I'm not a fan of Luis Castillo. I think he's an overpriced, overrated pitcher who had a couple good years in Cincinnati. And he was decent last year, but he's not as good as people think he is, and he's always overpriced. I'm looking at the Tigers here early in this spot here, and looking at it, bullpen advantage does go towards the Mariners. 4.37 FIP, 3.9 SIERA compared to 4.94 FIP and a 3.96 SIERA for the Tigers. 91 WRC plus, which is 23rd for the Tigers, compared to 98, which is 17th for the Mariners. I think the Mariners are a little bit overpriced here in this spot. I think there's value on the Tigers here. And I'm going to look at them here in the first 5 innings. Let's see what price I can get for them. First 5, plus 150. And if you don't want the plus 150 and a low variance game here, this could be a very low variance game. 3.5 your total here. I'd kind of lean over for the 3.5 first 5 total if I had to bet it. I wouldn't talk you off of the plus a half at -105 if you think this is going to be 1-1 or 2-2 at the end of 5 innings. I trust Eduardo Rodriguez at this type of price. I'll grab him here. First 5 plus 150 with the Detroit Tigers to close out my card.
Yeah, I think this is going to be the part of the year where you get some positive regression or start of a streak for Seattle. Because Seattle is going to be one of the teams that I'm confident in the second half. They're going to be a team that I want to back in the second half of the year. And I think they could possibly – you mentioned Boston. I think Seattle steals a playoff spot.
Absolutely. Seattle also has the schedule to do it too, Tim. Because when you look at the American League, they have the fourth easiest remaining strength of schedule. The bottom 3 teams are all American League Central teams: Detroit, Chicago, and Minnesota.
Because they get to go against their own division a bunch.
Yeah. So and they have tied for the easiest remaining schedule in the AL West with the Houston Astros. So,
which is why I think Seattle makes a move. I think Seattle will be active during the trade deadline. And
we see Seattle taking second in this division and maybe bumping the Rangers down to third.
That's what I was mentioning. Like you said, you like the Rangers to miss the playoffs. I think Seattle's one of the teams that can steal their spot.
Seattle, Toronto.
I know it's a little bit of a stretch right now, considering that the Texas Rangers are 13 games over and Seattle's 1 game over. I like Seattle to get it going. I think this is a 2-run win for Seattle. I'll take the run line at plus money.
Fair. I am on the first 5 though.
So. Tigers and the over. I guess I would lean towards over because I want Seattle runs. For real, I'm on the over. Both pitchers are not good. Eduardo Rodriguez, I think, could be good, and I think Castillo will be the AL version of Verlander and have a very solid second half. I know Nick does not, but opinions on Team Wilson winning and the over in tomorrow's WNBA game.
Stop it. Get some help.
I've already bet this. I took the under 249 yesterday. I think that line's going to drop.
There you go.
And we saw it last year where I think the line opened up at like 250 something. It dropped all the way to 230 something and still stayed under. So I do think this game goes under because it's gone over 249 twice in WNBA All-Star Game history.
Okay. Let's see. Is it? Here's what will dictate whether or not I bet it. Is it on the site? It is not on the site. I'm not interested in the game. So good luck to everybody who bets that. Yes, it has an All-Star game. I mean, exactly. Nobody watches it, but yes, it does have an All-Star game, but I'm not betting it. All right, Nick, we've gone through all the stuff for today. You know what that means?
Sorry, the dogs were barking again. It's the joy of doing this downstairs. Okay. We get to go get the return of
housekeeping.
Gets me every time. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys leave a like, comment, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff. We should all support. Check out all links in the description below. Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Discord, Facebook, Picks and Parleys, Premium Plays, merch, TikTok, ESP Shorts, and the allsportsbets.com websites, all linked down below. Check out Ballin' Out with Tim Earle on the Picks and Parleys YouTube channel. It went off about 5 hours ago. It went over 5 MLB plays. Obviously, we just tucked over them. Go over there. Just leave a like, maybe a comment. Tell the boss man I'm doing a good job. And then you guys can check out SeatGeek as well for your concert tickets and sporting event ticket needs. ESP at checkout. $20 off your first purchase. Recap time. We will be grabbing the Phillies today. I kind of like Pittsburgh. Grabbing Baltimore on the run line. I like the Mets. I like the Reds. Over in the Braves game. Astros and Mariners run line.
Yeah. I am on the Phillies team total over 4.5, full game over 9.5. Baltimore first 5, Cincinnati first 5, Atlanta team total over, full game over. Cleveland first 5 and full game. Red Sox money line and team total over 4.5. Cardinals team total over 5.5 and full game over 9. Yankees run line Astros over 8, and the Tigers first 5 to close out the card there. And in the CFL, Argos all day long. First half -3, full game -5.5, team total over 26.5, full game over 48.
There you go. That's going to do it for today's show. We'll be back tomorrow for another edition of the Earle Sports Bets Show.